Distance Nerding.
What up, what up, what up?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is
fast time.
Tuesday. That's right. It is Fast Times at Richmond High. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Taco Tuesday. You know what that means? You are now experiencing distance nerding.
Part of the Comic-Con Radio podcast family.
Fun fact, she once had a raccoon stuck on her toe. It's
What?
Jen from Frey Comics.
Fun fact, he fell out of a moving car as a kid, and that explains a lot of things. It's Jahmez 5000.
Yeah.
That's rude. And fun fact, he jumped out of airplanes for a living. It's young Phil, and we're here
to
nerd together.
Like, no explanation to that at all. It's just like, no, he should jump out of planes. That's it. We're leaving that at that.
We're talking about anything pop culture, news, movies, food, music, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding, Pop-Tarts, whatever you're nerding out on. We want to talk about it.
Of course, all the YouTubers, if you're watching on the YouTubes right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. Listen on your favorite podcast app. If you're not watching live right now, leave us a review. And remember, 5 stars helps us out a lot, guys. It helps us get out there. More people watch us so that everybody else can enjoy us the way you guys do. Now, follow us on all the social medias on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Threads, YouTube. You're already on YouTube, Blue Sky, Discord, at Distance Nerding, and of course, you can send us an email if you would like to do so. This would work if my mouse didn't get lost. You can send us an email at dist.
ASCAF. Half Taco is talking about ASCAF. I don't know what ASCAF is. But
I would think it's something Arizona related. AZ.
like a AZCAF, like a Arizona caffeine convention.
Could be comic book and anime festival.
I'll go with coffee, a coffee convention.
Okay. All right.
Interesting. I looked up ASCAF and it says Arizona Commemorative Air Force Museum.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
It's nerding at AOL.com.
Oh, no, right here. The Arizona Comic Book Arts Festival.
Oh, okay. All right.
That sounds fun.
Well, I see A now and stuff, and I think anime.
Right. It's nerding at AOL.com, and we will read it live on air. That is it, guys. That's the show. So we will see you guys later.
Thanks.
All right.
And keep nerding together. Oh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have now stumbled onto the worst kept secret on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching The Download. I hit the wrong one. It works if you hit the right button, right?
This is why you need to eat frosted Pop-Tarts.
This is why I need Dubby.
When you get the unfrosted ones, you start fucking up. So
I'm fucking up.
I just feel like this encapsulates like our personalities as
absolutely just chaos, complete chaos.
Yeah. It's never on the rails, so it can't go off the rails. So
I like that.
Facts.
I like that. Evil twin Cena, like soap opera style, would be amazing. We need that in our lives. John, you need to hear that and do that. So
John Cena.
And I'm not going to apologize for not liking you before, John Cena, because I have the option to change my mind whenever I want.
You can. Well, guys, this week on deck, we've got the Geekend Update.
Nothing. There is nothing there.
We got blended this weekend.
There you go. What we're watching.
Devils, witches, muscle do-gooders, and a teen who gets beat up a lot.
A lot. Gets the crap kicked out of him regularly. Starting rumors.
Is Superman going Maverick?
Does that mean he's going to have a cowboy hat?
Could be.
Is Superman going to Belarus?
We'll see.
Because we're banned there. And of course, the download.
Sit, Cujo, sit. Good dog.
I love this. But of course, before we get into all of that, ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you. Oh no, I'm skipping things. Before we get into all of that, damn it. But first, let me get a shout out. Fail.
Shout out to Dubby. Dubby is an emerged brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time, and no jitters. Visit dubby.gg. Use code nerding10 for 10% off. Use that discount code. Get yourself a tub of Dubby. Dubby was a hit at Weekend Blender this weekend, but we'll talk more about that in a minute.
So distance nerding. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you should be drinking it now.
I probably should. Now I also just realized there was one more thing I was supposed to put on the show that I didn't, and I need to do this now. I'm just completely failing for the day, guys.
So Distance Nerding is on Comic-Con Radio.
That's right.
You can find Distance Nerding in our second show, A Comic Conversation, on comiccon-radio.com/podcast. Hey, James, can you pop that into the chat? Because Shanu again is not here.
Popped.
Like a tart.
Who you calling a tart?
Well, it takes one to know one, so all three of us.
Oi, stop being a tart, huh?
We're kind of at a standstill now.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, I got a new mic.
It's very cool. It's colorful.
Yeah, it changes colors.
It's sleek.
You can hear me.
I can hear you now. It's good.
I'm not blowing out anybody's earbuds or anything.
No, the mic sound really good though. It is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and we kind of had a little bit of a test thing on yesterday. That was yesterday. I popped on I finally got to see a gaming stream and was like, I want to come on. Let me come on. So I popped on there. After many technical difficulties, I popped on there. So that was fun. And now I want to play Epic Mickey.
It's a good game. It is a really good game. Guys, if you haven't played Epic Mickey, the game in itself is this one is a remake, right, from an older game that came out on the Wii.
It's rebrushed, right? That's the version.
Yeah, it's called Rebrushed, right? And it was really well done. So okay, I've got this uploading so we can move on to the next segment here.
Yay!
So guys, let's get into this. It is now time for the Geekend update.
Weekend Blender was this weekend at the Sunrise Mall here in Sacramento or Citrus Heights area. So much fun. Free. It was free. Oh my God. Free con. Free family-friendly event. Vendors, cosplayers, contest. I think there was maybe a Tim Burton one. I missed it. I never got the time. Special guests, more. So many of our friends were there. Project Wish Upon a Star, Kyber Cave, DeLong family, Cindy Rue, Hummin H2, Sack Deadpool,
Sack Ghostbusters.
Sack Ghostbusters. The Terror Squad was there. It was Girl Mode was there. It was awesome. It's always fun meeting people in person. Who else was there? Stark's Comics Vault was there too.
Stark's Comics Vault was there.
Super awesome meeting people, building our community up. Everybody is so cool with each other. It's awesome. I wish Say Wong was there, but of course Say Wong wasn't because he's too busy for the rest of us.
Pepper Jack was there, and she had many cosplays. Yeah.
Wow. I feel bad that I missed it. I was thinking about you guys this weekend because I was like, they're at Weekend Blender. I hope they're having a good time.
We had a blast. It was a good time. And actually, to show everybody how much of a blast it was, before the guest comes on, he made a little quick video for us. So I'm going to play that now before we introduce our guest.
Sweet.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen,
Awesome.
welcome to the show. Friend of the show, cosplay creator, congoer, all around amazingness, DeLong family cosplay. Everybody, Jeff and Sandra DeLong.
Hello.
Hello, DeLongs.
Hello,
Hello,
Trey.
DeLongs.
James.
How's it going? Long time no see.
Very cryptic lighting.
Even longer for Phil.
Wow.
We gotta work
Can you hear
on
us?
some lighting for you.
Hey, no, we can hear you guys.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you.
So, of course, you guys are friends of the show. You're cosplay creators. You're con goers. All around amazing. Sack geeks, board members. Jeff and Sandra, the DeLong fam cosplay. Where's Bruce? We're missing a third party. Is he
Shower.
asleep?
Shower. Okay.
Shower.
Yeah.
Shower.
All right. So you had a pretty nice little con experience, but tell us about your weekend blender experience. This is not your first rodeo or weekend blender. It's not your first blender.
No.
We've been to a handful of them. We did one of them as a walking guest, but this is our first one we actually had a booth. So we actually had our own booth this time. We were giving out 3D prints, and we actually ran out of the big Deadpools, which we were giving away in combination with you guys and Sack Geeks. We also had a bunch of little ones that were given away for different stuff. And then there was Sack Geeks was there. There was lots of people there. We had a couple of cosplay meetups. You want to go with that one?
Yeah, we did have the Tim Burton one.
You had the Tim Burton one. Oh, I wish I would have found out when that was.
At 12:30 on Saturday.
That would have been. Well, I wish somebody would have told me ahead of time.
Well, we were busy posting it. We couldn't tell everybody. So, which it still went off great. It was
That
mainly
must have
Beetlejuice,
burned.
so that's okay. We had one person as Beryl. And
That's awesome.
And then the other one
Star Wars.
was the Star Wars one, and we were the Jawas. So when you see the Jawas, that's us. And that was hosted by Terran Clan. That was awesome. And Sundays was the anime Pokemon. And then the heroes at the end, where you see us all, mainly Deadpool's battling everyone from DC.
I looked at the picture earlier today, and it's funny because you can't see me in the picture, but then there's a random unicorn like popping out of the top of the of the picture. And it's like, oh,
You
there
are
he is.
represented.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you guys, is this the first year you guys have had a booth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is our first booth there.
Oh, that's awesome. How did that go?
This is our first booth.
I think it went really well because we got a lot of people walking by and checking us out and doing what they need to do to earn the prints and stuff.
What did they have to do? Did you guys have like a game set up or a spinning wheel or?
It's kind of like a
Basically,
scavenger hunt.
Yeah, it's kind of a scavenger. Like you followed us on our 4 social medias. You each one got a different 3D print, and then if you show us your full 4, you get the small Deadpool, and then you go over to Distance Nerding, do what they want you to do, get your little tag saying you did it. Go over to Sat Geeks, do what they want you to do, and bring back both the tags to us. Then you get the bigger Deadpool. So we have people running around the mall.
I love that because it's really interactive too, and you're getting other people involved too. So it's like, you know, you don't just say, hey, take a picture of this or whatever. You actually have other booths involved. So and it really promotes stuff. So that's awesome. That's
It was a
great
hit.
idea.
It was a hit. That I think Sunday morning, the first hour, I saw 2 guys like running around. Like it was like their mission to finish this scavenger hunt, and they all got it. They got
that
it
was
done
partially because I was telling people there's 3 of them today. On Sunday, we had 3 big prints of Deadpool, and I had given away 2 of them before the second and third one even arrived.
Oh no! Oh wow!
They were running around. They're like, they showed up at our booth. Like, what do we got to do? I'm like, I think you got to follow us. They're like, done. What else? Done.
That's all
What
you
else?
gotta do.
TikTok, done. What else?
And now
They were
give
just
us $5. No.
They were great. They were great. So it was a great idea.
Buy some stickers.
Yeah, kudos to you guys. It was executed very well. Everybody seemed to have fun with it.
Wow, I mean, I just think that's amazing. I love doing stuff like that. So, and yeah, so great. Woohoo!
We also
Even
had
Gunn,
one. We had a big 3D print that had felled, so it was the Deadpool, but from the top of the eyes up was just not printed. So the picture of a Deadpool that was in the video that had a silicone brain that I custom molded on Saturday night. I sculpted it out of clay, cast it the mold that night. Next morning we went live and I made the mold or the silicone brain on the live stream Sunday morning, and then I finished putting it together at the show, and we gave it away as a cosplay prize for Judge's Choice on Sunday.
Oh, that's
dope.
So you mentioned that you guys live streamed it. So tell us where we can follow you. Tell us all your stuff. Brag a little.
Time for pluggables. So we are on.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, tell us about your channel. Tell us about,
The
tell us
YouTube.
a little bit about that. You don't have to do like pluggables, but just tell us a little bit about what you guys do on your channel and things.
Okay, so every Wednesday at 6 to 7 we go live, and I will be working on stuff, fixing, building, or creating in some way something, and then sometimes she's working on some kind of project, but a lot of what she's doing is just kind of like Graveyard does for the build, moderate the chat, keep the conversation moving. Instead of having guests, we actually tend to do a lot more like just nerdy chats. One of the ones we did the other day was which Ninja Turtle would you rather have for a sibling?
Oh, that's a good one. None. So. I'm not into the turtle.
Yeah, that was the most conversation debate we had so far on our show.
Well,
yeah,
awesome.
another one we threw out there was would you take or the one from Saturday was would you take Clayface's powers, but you have to look like Clayface?
No, pass. I'll pass on that.
So, just a lot of stuff like that. Occasionally we'll do something like a Mad Lib and have the chat feed all the words into the Mad Lib.
Yeah, those are
Though,
fun.
those are fun.
One of our shows.
Those are fun, except Tater needs a little help figuring out what's a noun, what's an adjective, what's an adverb.
Well, you and Tyler both need to figure out tense.
Tater needs a little cheat sheet or something on the side.
Both of you guys need to figure out how to add an S to a plural.
No, I got it. We're fine. All right, back to Weekend Blender. So tell us about Weekend Blender and how did you get connected with Weekend Blender?
We just attended the first one we went to, and Pete saw us coming out of the bathroom changing, and he just like, hey, you guys want to be a part of the next show? That way you guys don't have to change in the bathroom. We have a green room. I went, sure. So then we just ended up talking to Cindy since we already knew her, and we become a part of the Citrus Heights and the Tracy shows. So we're always at those two shows twice a year.
That's awesome. Yeah, Pete turned out to be an amazing guy. And, we have friends down in the Fresno area that have always been talking about Weekend Blender and Die Hard and Sons. So it was so great that you hooked us up with Pete, because he turned out to be such a cool dude and total hey, let's hang out. Let's do this. Whatever you guys need. So it's awesome. So we appreciate it.
I know, that's why I called and went ahead and asked him if you guys could do it. And I said, hey, he said yes. Go talk to him.
And he put up with young Phil bringing a microphone the next day and talking over everybody. So
I was told
he was very patient.
Microphone. I was told to bring a microphone. And then, me, you give me a mic and the ability to entertain, and I'm going to. And it turned out to be great because he was telling me, he was like, you solved a problem I didn't realize I had. And it was more so like, it was that no announcements were being made, so it was kind of like word of mouth. The cosplay contest is happening over here by word of mouth, or this meetup is happening over here by word of mouth. So with me announcing every hour, like, hey, here's what's happening over the course of the day. Over at the food court, we're doing this meetup, and cosplay contest is happening over here, and like, you know, doing it every hour. So in that way, when new people come into the con, you know, they're hearing, oh, here's what's going on for the day. You know, he really appreciated that, and he was like, you know, it's something that he goes, and at the same time, it's entertaining, and it kind of keeps the vibe up. So, you know, he really enjoyed it.
And then if you had done it before, James would have known when this Tim Burton meetup was.
Well, because I didn't do it on Saturday. It was
There you go. That's the problem. Young Phil was the problem, is that he didn't make the announcements.
He wasn't given the permission first.
Well, his microphone was half volume. So
Does he ever ask for permission for anything? He just does it.
usually
Okay.
not.
Well, he does at our house, so I don't know.
Well, what do you? So, what's your take on Weekend Blender? How was this Weekend Blender compared to other events that you've been to of Weekend Blender?
this was actually one of the busier ones. This one actually got a lot of traffic through there this time.
Nice.
A little less vendors than last time, but a lot more traffic. There was a good variety. We actually had Van out there too. You guys missed Kyber Cave over there. There was also your friend.
Yeah, Holding Aces was there because Kyber Cave Productions was only there one day, so she took up the space right next to us. And because she was right next to us, and she is such a good friend, and she makes awesome stuff, I bought this from her.
Oh, look at you!
Seeming we're so tiny, that's Power Ranger. Yeah. There he goes.
That's awesome. That's fun. And you are connected with them, right? Like they're part of SatCon. They do the fashion show.
Yes, she was in this past Sac Anime's Geek Fashion Show. She was a designer, and I was one of her models.
Oh, look at you making it happen.
Yeah, I know all the people now.
I never get asked to be a model. I'm not sure exactly why, but
Also,
Your beautiful hair, James.
what were you saying, Jeff?
Blacksmith.
Blacksmith cosplay.
Blacksmith cosplay was there as well. They were the ones down towards the end there. Down towards where the cosplay contest was. They sell lots of cool weapons and do a lot of commission work with foam stuff. Let's see who else. There was a handful of other like toy vendors that were there.
Like Toy Box around the corner.
Toy Machine was there with their Legos. So there was a lot of good vendors there. Cindy was taking pictures all weekend of everybody. Council Wade finally got a group photo.
That was good. I teabagged Tater. It was great.
Whoa, keep it PG.
For what? Why?
So tell us what a Council of Wades is. That sounds interesting.
So that is our cosplay group. Sorry, Jeff, explain it.
Thank you.
It is a bunch of Deadpools. It is
There you
the
go.
multiverse of Deadpools
And Bob.
and Bob.
And Bob.
Very nice. Very nice. So is it open invitation? Do you have to?
There is applications.
Okay. Applications for Council of Wades. Got it.
Does one of the requirements is it that they have to have said that Deadpool and Wolverine was their number one movie of 2024? Is that
No,
one
that's
of the
actually
requirements?
demerit if you write that on the application.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what you guys do in your rickety tickety little club over there, but
We had Santa Claus
I'm just
apply.
kidding.
Yeah, we did. We have photographic evidence of Santa Claus
Santa
applying
Claus.
for the council.
Santa pool? You had a Santa pool?
No, he
No.
was just Santa Claus.
Oh,
Well,
Okay.
fun
I
fact.
do believe
he
that was at
the original
Powerhouse.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
The last powerhouse.
gotcha. So is there like a rule like you have to have a Deadpool mask or one baby hand? Is that what makes you part of Council of Wades?
I mean, honestly, just fill out the application, which voice speaks to us.
Yeah.
You know,
And pay the registration fee at least, you know,
Right.
and then you're in. Then you're in.
it
Registration
does
fee.
help if you buy a taco.
I was going to say registration fee of 3 tacos.
3 tacos.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, Weekend Blender was great. I'm so glad we went and hung out, and it seems like everybody had a good time. Are you going to be doing more weekend? Are you going to be going to other Weekend Blenders like the ones in Fresno?
We're probably going to
Road
be
trip?
at OmegaCon, which is
Okay.
also another one of the shows. We're not 100% on Tracy yet. Got to look at the schedule because there's so many shows. What the heck is up on the screen?
We are doing Tracy.
And we are doing Tracy.
We always do Tracy. It's the Clovis and Madera ones.
I
We're
just
not
wasn't
always-
sure what the schedule was. I
Yeah.
could contradict with on the other shows
Yeah.
because we do so many shows. We're going to be with you guys at all the Omegas,
Awesome.
or not Omega, the
Girl shows.
Colossus.
Dave's and Marina Colossus shows. And then we figured out Saturday we will be at SACCon this weekend.
Nice.
Saturday only.
So
So if you're going to be at
we-
SACCon, you better go Saturday. Meet up with the DeLongs.
yeah, we get to a lot of shows, as many as we can. It's just they seem to overlap a lot, so then you have to choose: do I want to go to this one or this one?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
Welcome
hard
to
to
con season. That's exactly it.
like
Well, you know,
it's-
I'm glad we got to
I think Galaxy and Gym
GalaxyCon
State are
and
the same
Sensei.
weekend. I think that's the same weekend as Gym. So we'll be up in Gym State, which kind of sucks because there's a handful of good people at Galaxy this year as well. So
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
We stay
is Darth
committed
Maul
to
going to be
our-
there?
huh?
Is Darth Maul going to be there though?
No,
Yeah.
but
Any
Shatner
reason-
will.
What?
Shatner and Ferrigno will.
Oh God, Shatner and Ferrigno. Well, Ferrigno is going to be in Madeira.
Yeah. And that was the main one I need. I need to get a signature for my Iridian because he was Billy from Adventure Time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So.
I had no idea.
Well, awesome.
Well,
I
if you
don't
come
watch
to
it,
Sacramento and visit, we can school you and not educate you on all the other stuff you don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
All of the Adventure Time stuff, Jen.
It gets too hot for her here. She's like, sun.
But she comes in the winter and off season, so it's still cool.
There you go. There you go.
That's how you get away from the snow, Jen.
Yeah, that's true. It did snow a few times here this year, so maybe I will. Maybe I'll be like, what do they call them? Snow bunnies.
Are you going to be a snow bunny?
Yeah, snow bunny, where they hop to a warmer climate. And this, I don't know what I'm saying.
I mean, there is Winter Sack Anime. There's Winter Sack Anime right in the middle of winter. It's one of the bigger cons down here.
There you go.
And that's what the Geek Fashion Show is. And Girl Mode is also a model at the Geek Fashion Show too.
Okay, everybody's a model. What about me? I can be a model. I can walk a runway.
Jahmez
I
is
can't even
a
say
model.
runway.
I've been drinking.
First, you have to show up.
I was there.
You have to take off a full Friday to do it.
Jahmez is a model. You know
It's
what?
not the only thing I'm going to take off on the runway. You know what I mean? Anyway, so we appreciate you coming on. Weekend Blender was a blast. If people want to follow you, where should they follow you?
This is your art.
You can follow us on Threads, Facebook, Instagram,
YouTube.
and YouTube, all at the same name, the Long Fam Cosplay.
All one
Very
word.
nice. All one word. And then you go live on YouTube. So YouTube's the big one. Follow him on YouTube and make sure what is it? Wednesdays?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. The only time.
The only time. Is
The only time.
Only time zone that even matters.
Building cosplays, having a good old time. It's great. Thank you guys so much. We had such a good time at Weekend Blender.
No, it was
All right.
amazing to see you.
It is amazing to see me. You were very true. You were very
In
correct.
person.
Well, guys, we appreciate you coming on, giving us your time, and giving us the update over the weekend. As always, we love you guys. We'll see you in the chat, and we will see you tomorrow as well on your guys' show.
Bruce wants to be in the dance party.
Okay, so we'll bring you guys back for the dance party here in a little while.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
See you in the dance party.
All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit here.
All right.
Dance party might be at midnight the way we're going. So
I mean,
FYI.
maybe.
Yeah,
And real quick, while we're talking about cons, that was Weekend Blender, but coming up next weekend, March 22nd and 23rd here in Sacramento, SAC Comic-Con or SACCon is going to be here. Ming-Na Wen is going to be here. Ernie
That's
Reyes
awesome.
Jr.
Oh yeah.
And then a bunch of comic book artists, including our good friend Brandon McKinney, director and storyboard artist for the Harley Quinn animated series, will be there. Such a cool dude. He'll be promoting his new book, Crimson Storm.
Right, Crimson Storm.
It's awesome.
And I'd like to address Sacramento Deadpool at this moment. I did not say rinky dinky. I said rickety tickety.
Check the tapes, everybody. Check the tapes.
And
That's
I
not any
stand
better.
by my word.
Yep.
And
Check the tapes,
I'm not
everybody.
responsible for anything I say.
Yeah.
We'll let the referees review that, but we'll keep going.
Until then, ladies and gentlemen, let's move into the next segment. It is time to talk about what we're watching.
All right.
Give up. No,
We're
just kidding.
We're watching Daredevil, right? Everybody?
Yes, Daredevil Born Again.
By the way, it's good, but I did fall asleep during episode 3. So you got to start stepping it up, Daredevil.
Well, no, so again, remember Kofi talks about it on their show, right? Like Kofi Outlaw talks about it. It's slow at first, and about midway through the season, which would kind of be this week's episode, it picks up and goes from like 0 to 100. So
yeah, I think we're gonna get Punisher tonight, and I think that's what's gonna it's gonna start. It's been ramping back up, is really what it is, but it was a more. It wasn't a action-packed episode.
Exactly.
yeah,
So it didn't move along as quickly.
at least not packed. Like the action that was there was good. So
Yeah, but I really am enjoying it. I really don't like Heather, which I mean I wouldn't. She's she's got Hell Kitchen's ass. So but yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. The actress always plays like disreputable people. And so I'm like, I don't know if maybe this is her good girl role. I don't know. That's what I have to say. And I love that that the fists are in therapy.
yeah, it's kind of like a nice little take just to see Wilson and Vanessa in the couples therapy. The other thing though, like again, the fate of White Tiger. There's a lot of people upset with what ends up happening, but I mean, at the same time, because people were feeling like it was abrupt, and it kind of was, but it is also leading into kind of like more of what ends up happening. So
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I mean, the actor as well was very ill, so they didn't have him for as long. I mean, he did pass away, but it wasn't a long-term role for him.
Gotcha.
Half Taco asks us a pretty crazy one here. If a bottle of milk and a tree stump fought to the death, who would win?
The bottle of milk, if it was plastic, because plastic doesn't biodegrade.
Right. So microplastics just killing the tree.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now, if it was glass, it would probably be the tree, because glass would break down faster than the tree would.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what are you guys watching? Reacher?
I am 100% caught up on Reacher. So
Jen, you're gonna binge it?
I'm still gonna binge it, so we're waiting until the end, until it's over.
fun. It's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's ramping up a lot. I love the way they're doing the storytelling in it. And again, not to do any spoilers, like the way they're telling the story is not in a non-linear way, but they're like telling part of the story and then going back and then telling another part and then continuing on. But it doesn't feel like they're like, they're jumping around too much. Like it's just enough to explain what the heck was going on.
Yeah.
So it's or like, there's like like every 2 or 3 episodes there's a twist and then they go back and explain the twist.
You're mid. Okay. Invincible. Are you all caught up on Invincible? Is it done?
It is done. The season finale was last week.
Then I'll be able to watch it now.
Yeah, there was one thing in the season finale, like the final fight was absolutely amazing. Brings you back to the first season, to that fight in the first season.
Oh, the final one.
Yeah,
and his dad.
with him and his dad, right? But there is one character that hasn't shown back up yet, and it kind of like there's a reference, and I'm like, no, this can't be true, right? And I'm hoping we get a resolution in season 4.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we really enjoy it, but it's one of those I just have to watch it like all in one. I can't wait. And we just decided on Reacher that it was just going to be that way.
Okay. So then the last show we have on the list is the always Jen favorite, Wheel of Time.
Yes. I love me some Aes Sedai. Yeah, no, it actually is really good. Like I said, I am reading the books again.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I started book 5 because some of the stuff that's happening in season 3 is from book 5. But and it actually, they're doing a lot of like course correcting closer to the book now than they had in the past 2 seasons, and it really feels more authentic, and I really like it. And how they're doing the weaves, the one power stuff is really interesting as well.
I'm enjoying this season so much more. And I look back at season 2 of Wheel of Time, and it was such a snooze fest compared to this season.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, this is how I drew things in high school, and then like season 3 is, hey, now I'm in college and I'm totally like,
yeah. I think what happened is this is another kind of like this is another example of like the Sonic effect is now what it's starting to be called, where like enough fan backlash about a show and the showrunners will listen to it and say, hey, you know what, we need to go back and fix this. Yeah. So one of the biggest complaints in season 2 was that they deviated so far from the books that people were just getting turned off from it. And I think like you said, they're course correcting in season 3 and saying, okay, let's kind of gear it back to the books and kind of pull the storylines back from the books, which are good enough on their own. I know we're not going to be talking about this tonight, but kind of the same thing is happening with Halo. So Halo, they just ended up on moving over to Netflix, and it is now the number 4 show on Netflix. So like, there's a lot of people that are watching it, right? And I think they're hoping because of the amount of people that are watching it that Netflix greenlights season 3. And I'm hoping that if they do that same thing, they kind of like do the course correction and say, okay, let's pick up where this left off, but let's course correct and kind of like respect the source material a little more. And instead of Master Chief like never having the armor on, like he's pretty much in the armor all the time,
right?
So
I have no frame of reference for Halo, so.
You know what's interesting about Reacher, Invincible, and Wheel of Time?
They're all on Amazon.
They're all on Amazon, and they all come out on Thursdays.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I know Invincible just finished, but you think they would have kind of spread it out?
Yeah, because I know Disney Plus, like the last day of Daredevil Born Again is the first day of Andor.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that makes sense. That's a marketing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then
Alright,
it
cool.
keeps people on the app. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of other stuff to watch, I think there's a new Bert Kreischer stand-up comedy on Netflix.
I
think it's
saw
called
that.
Lucky.
Yeah, so there
Came out today.
there is a new Burt Kreischer on there right now.
Mhm.
Just saying. And then there's
We don't have-
wrestling
We don't
all
have Netflix. So.
all week long.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw was great. So
Yeah, there you go.
again, kind of the way we were saying earlier, you know, for those of you who are not watching WWE right now, now's the time to get into it because the Netflix era has really kind of like brought it back to like old school storylines, and the way that they're doing John Cena's heel turn is absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Let's keep it going.
Yay, let's do this.
All right, well, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. It's now time to get banned in Belarus. It's time to start some rumors.
Oh yeah. Time for some rumors. There must be more dogs that need to be avenged. The John Wick franchise refuses to stay. And now it's coming back for a fifth chapter. Oh my gosh. Lionsgate's Jennifer Brown, EVP and head of global products and experiences. Oh my God, those titles. Recently confirmed again that John Wick Chapter 5 is in development. But the big question remains, is John Wick actually alive? Are we going to get Keanu back in this? So I guess the ending of John Wick 4.
So the twist is this time it's the dog.
Oh, the dog's been alive the whole time.
John Wick.
God.
They're going to retell the entire John Wick storyline from the dog's perspective.
The dog's perspective.
Exactly.
Let's see. She said, what is official is that, as you know, Ballerina is the first spin-off that comes out next year. We're in development on 3 others, including John Wick 5 and a television series. The Continental will be airing soon. Oh my gosh. John Wick universe is blowing up. Tacos on the table. Would you be interested in a John Wick universe without John Wick?
A Wickless universe.
A Wickless. Womp womp.
So
make a pill for that.
So they make a pill for that. I absolutely would be okay with this as long as it's executed correctly. So I mean, there's a lot of like really good lore within the John Wick universe. You know, like you have the whole thing with the Continental. They tried to do a Continental TV show, didn't really stick, but like if you have the right directors, you have the right writers, you can get really good stories without John Wick. Because I mean, there are more not more interesting than John, but I mean there are more interesting characters within the John Wick universe.
Yeah,
like Ballerina is going to be tackling that. There's like a couple of the other assassins that he runs into. Like I wouldn't mind an entire show about Common's character from the second movie.
Oh yeah, you could base it off of a lot of different aspects too.
Yeah.
I mean, that you know, you've got the organization that John Wick was retired from. You could base it on that, and you could have tons of people come in and out on that, different assassins and stuff, and follow their stories. And I mean, yeah, It's a huge universe. I could see it being a thing. I'm not ready to say goodbye to John Wick, so
yeah, I mean, like, but like John's. It's spoilers for a movie that's been out for what 2-3 years now, right? John dies at the end of the last movie, so I mean, I said spoilers. I said spoilers.
Well, I can't really leave the show. You didn't have to say anything.
I said, and I also said for a movie that was like 2-3 years old.
Well, now I guess I don't have to watch it. Thanks.
You've had plenty of time to watch it, James.
I don't think I watched it actually, but that's okay. It doesn't spoil anything for me.
But yeah, no. What about you guys? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm gonna take my tacos off the table since it's spoiled for me, and I don't want my tacos spoiled. No, I've never seen John Wick. I always mean to watch it, and then I'm like, I get sidetracked, and I end up watching, I don't know, some alien conspiracy theory show documentary.
The action on John Wick is like unmatched.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's really good. And I liked all the. We just haven't seen 4. I liked all the other ones. I loved the Dobermans in 3.
Oh, now there's Dobermans in it. Great spoilers.
And so yeah, no, I mean, I'll just put my tacos on the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put those tacos. Put that next rumor on the table too.
All right.
Yeah. What is Elizabeth Olsen brewing up? Get it? Brewing up because she plays a witch. Yeah, she's a witch. In a recent interview, Olsen spoke about the possibility of returning to her role as the Scarlet Witch. It's a character I love going back to when there's a way to use her well. And I think I've been lucky when I started, I was used well. And they kind of didn't know what to do with me for a second there. If there's a good way to use her, I'm always happy to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tacos on the table. Is she teasing us for a doomsday appearance?
Well, I think that's already one of the rumors that's on the table that we've discussed before, is that she is supposed to be in Doomsday. There is a storyline in the comics where Ultimate Doom is with the Scarlet Witch. Like, she's like his lady.
Yeah, and it's
lady
like
friend.
Last time we saw her, she was on Wondergore, which is in the vicinity. So
right,
that could happen. I think she's gonna show up. I don't think we're done with her.
No, we're definitely not. I mean, we obviously know she's going to be in Vision Quest, but then I think her contract had like 3 other movies in it, so I'm sure she's going to be in both Avengers movies.
Yeah. There was a hot minute before that contract where she was like, "Oh, I'm done with Marvel. It's been a great run," and then she got this contract. We're like, "What's happening here?"
Yeah.
3 movies.
We know that she didn't die in that scene. Like there's the rumor has it with this is that the TVA got her out.
Yeah, it's technically in the comics already. Is that TVA comic when Stacy goes walking through the TVA and they have Scarlet Witch in like a stasis bubble thing.
Yeah.
She's just kind of unconscious. So
yeah,
I
think we're gonna. I mean, honestly, I think she'll come back. And I think it'll be amazing. So, because we'll have Tommy and Billy by then. So
Well,
that'll be fun.
We're supposed to be getting Tommy in Vision Quest.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like, but when she comes back, everyone will have really come back to her as well. So.
Right.
Who got the next one?
I do, but I was just making sure everybody got their tacos up.
Yeah, tacos.
All right.
My taco flavored Pop-Tarts are out.
Ooh.
Thanks.
All right. Well, Disney is making rumors global. Disney recently registered a new production company in the UK named Atlas Hall, and while some believe it could be connected to Thor 5, the name Atlas strongly hints at something related to the Marvel team, Agents of Atlas, and Shang-Chi.
Oh.
In Marvel Comics, the Atlas Foundation was a secretive criminal empire originally formed by the descendants of Genghis Khan, aimed to expand his conquest into modern times. If the sequel does introduce the Agents of Atlas, we might see a mix of familiar and new faces. The report claims names like Amadeus Cho, which got he showed up in the Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah.
The Young Genius and possible future Hulk, Lin Lai, Iron Fist, a fresh take on the classic martial artist, and Luna Snow, who is a K-pop star turned superhero with ice powers. So the tacos on the table,
you do.
like you do, right? We're gonna have like 5 different like ice themed characters. So tacos on the table. Could Shang-Chi 2 bring this storyline and a new Iron Fist?
Oh, my tacos are totally on the table for this.
Yeah, I was gonna say this seems so doable, and building out like a little corner of the Shang-Chi world, almost like his own universe within the Marvel universe. I could totally see this happening.
Yeah,
like the Hell's Kitchen crew. And
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So it's. I absolutely am all for this. It just sounds like fun to me. It sounds like we're superheroes, we're gonna do superhero things kind of movie, and that's what I'm for right now.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I like the idea of all that.
Is Shadu here? Is his chow mein sweet and sour pork tacos on the table?
It's racist.
No? I said it. It's not racist if I say it.
You're Filipino, not Chinese. It's racist.
Oh, well, I'm like 1/16. Does that count? Okay, I'm going to keep it going here. With new DCU rumors, nothing is impossible. The latest Superman rumor suggests the film is setting up some Top Gun casting surprises, with speculation pointing at a well-known A-lister taking on the role of Superman's Kryptonian father, Jor-El. Tom Cruise could be in the mix, given Cruise's recent deal with Warner Brothers, where he's set to develop both original films and franchise projects. Superman flies into theaters July 11th. Tacos on the table. Does Superman feel the need for speed and Tom Cruise?
I don't know, but does Superman really have to look down at his dad?
Not if, I mean, Superman can, Tom Cruise can fly. Jor-El can fly up a little bit, just so he's.
Yeah,
Jor-El
on an apple box. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it has to be awfully tall apple box.
Well, if he's going to be like a hologram, then just make a bigger hologram.
He's just like, yeah. So Superman, your dad, it's the atmosphere on Krypton because of the gravity.
Yeah,
that's what makes Superman as massive as he is because the Earth gravity had an effect on his physiology. We'll go with that.
There you go.
You went really a long way for that.
I kind of did.
So real quick, tacos on the table. Do you think Tom Cruise could end up in the DCU like this?
That would be interesting. And if he's Jor-El, I mean, it's not a huge commitment.
The only other problem is if he's a hologram, you don't have entire scenes of him running. So I think contractually he has to run everywhere in the movie.
He's just running around the Fortress of Solitude.
So
it's like, wait up, Dad.
So I think what they end up doing is going in for reshoots just to have Tom Cruise running, trying to get to their home to send.
Oh yeah,
hello. Yeah. It's just to have a scene of him running around Krypton.
For just oh gosh, and everything's falling apart, and I've got to get to my wife and my son. Yeah, and it's in slow-mo, and yeah.
So when I first read this article, I was like, tacos are not on the table. No way Tom Cruise takes second billing for something like this. But as I read through it, it's like, oh, he has a deal with Warner Brothers to do his own projects and other projects. I'm like, maybe Warner Brothers is like, hey, just do us this favor. It's going to take you like a week. It's not going to take away from any stunts or anything. Maybe it's a hit. Maybe we do a Jor-El prequel down the road if it takes off, but just do this for us.
Right. He gets paid either way, so I'm sure he doesn't care.
So my tacos are on the table.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah, my tacos are on the table. You guys already heard kind of like my reasoning for it. Just hey, we're gonna
my cherry and my blueberry Pop-Tarts, the red and blue, are on the table.
The
S means hope.
S means hope. I hope I get to eat Pop-Tarts tonight.
You're just not giving up with the Pop-Tarts.
He's ensuring that he has a joke for us to put inside of the episode description.
Exactly. But that was our last rumor, y'all.
All right. Well, that is it for rumors.
Let's pop on over to the download.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's really good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the download. Well, before we get into everything else going on in the download, as we normally do, guys, starting off everything that we're doing here, it's Jen's casting corral.
Woohoo! Yeehaw! All right, in this week's corral, we got an Irishman, a redhead, and 3 Daniels. So let's go.
I think that's a full house.
I don't know why I do the yeehaw and let's go. Okay. The first one is, did we find our Aslan and his luscious locks? Netflix has offered Daniel Craig a role in their Chronicles of Narnia adaptation, but no word on who he might portray or if he's accepted the offer. So will he voice Aslan or play another role, do you think?
Aslan is actually a good fit for Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I like his voice for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just generally, we've heard him do voice work in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know what? I can see him doing Aslan.
Does that count? It's like 2 lines.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, like just hearing the way that he can mask his voice, I think he's a good enough actor that he can create a voice for Aslan. And even then, I mean, it's Aslan traditionally has a British voice, anyways. So
Right. And was it Liam Neeson that did it in the last one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like their voices are very similar, like that lower timbre, kind of like, hello everyone, kind of like that. So
They have a set of skills.
Yeah.
A very special set.
I have a certain set of skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
Exactly it. So let's move on. Unless, do we want to say anything else about it?
No, good.
Okay. All right. So next we have Farrell to go from Batman baddie to DC war hero.
Okay.
What?
So Colin Farrell, I like that one.
No. I get what you're saying.
Is rumored to star as Sergeant Franklin John Rock.
That's what I thought we were going.
Yeah. Lucia.
Gotta say it with an Italian accent.
Guadagnino's.
Guadagnino.
Okay, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna know. It'll take us too long to do that. We don't have the time. Upcoming World War II set Sergeant Rock film. So, first thing I want to ask is, why does everybody keep saying he's playing Penguin?
No,
totally not.
He doesn't need that show at all.
Yeah, I didn't see him once. And then also, do we think he would make a really good Sergeant Rock?
I think Colin Farrell can play anything you give him. The guy's a good enough actor, and he melts into whatever he does. Whatever role you give him, he will be able to do it. It's kind of funny that we had Daniel Craig news before this, and now Colin Farrell and Daniel Craig was originally supposed to be playing Sergeant Rock. So
yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think he could do it.
Yeah,
and I love that he's like really kind of embracing the whole comic book thing. It's not like, okay, no, I played the Penguin. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna overdo it or whatever. And he's like, yeah, no, I can play Sergeant Rock, and he can do it because he looks nothing like the guy that plays Penguin. So, I mean, like that. So he could do that because technically they wouldn't even be recognizable. So
he's good at making characters complex.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like having like a backstory on these characters. So yeah, that's cool. I like him as Sergeant Rock. That's fun.
Awesome. So moving on. but will he wear a powder blue tuxedo? So Jeff Daniels has signed on to co-star in season 3 of the therapeutic Apple TV Plus series Shrinking. He'll be playing Jason Segel's dad in the series. Have you guys watched this non-canon sequel to Ted Lasso?
I have.
That's my headcanon.
I have not. Jackie's. I think she's watched the first season and a half of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't watched it. I've heard good things though.
It's a fun show. I haven't finished it yet, but it's a fun show.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's one of our comfort shows. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
But it's one of our comfort shows, and I do feel like it's kind of the sequel to Ted Lasso.
Why do you say that? Why?
Because after Ted Lasso was over, we all needed therapy.
Yeah.
So then a show about therapists comes out by the makers of Ted Lasso.
Gotcha.
And some guy that looks like Roy Kent's in it.
That's right. It was like the one thing I noticed. It was like how different his personality is on this show than it is on Ted Lasso.
Yeah, no, I feel like how he is in Shrinking is closer to how he is in real life. So he's not like in your face Roy Kent, but hey.
Right.
Everybody has their king, whatever.
Yeah, it's a good bingeable show.
Mm-hmm. And then in Sacramento, Dead Glass is saying Ted Lasso is coming back for a 4th season.
Yeah, they're currently writing it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be about the girls' team.
Right. He's supposed to be coming back or specifically, Ted is coaching a girls' team, and they didn't specifically say that he was coming back. And coming back to the UK, they just said that he was the next season he's coaching a women's team.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
And we'll find out in like 2 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So anyway, then let's go to the next one. Mm-hmm. This one I thought was very interesting. So Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, has joined the cast of a new pilot at NBC, which is set to star Tracy Morgan. The new comedy stars Morgan as a disgraced former football player on a mission to rehabilitate his image. So do you think they're going to use Morgan's food poisoning at the Knicks game clip in the show?
No. Hell no.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, are you kidding me?
I feel so bad for him. I mean, I just feel so bad for him, but why not use it? So my real question is, so do you think Radcliffe will play like his agent or his like BFF or both or what?
Or the guy that has to clean up the vomit? No. All right.
I mean, his assistant. I feel like they did that with 30 Rock. Wasn't Tina Fey his assistant?
I think she was.
She was the writer. Was she the head writer?
Yeah, I was joking because I know she was like in charge of the whole 30 Rock, the actual show. So anyway, never mind. So let's move on to
back to it. I like this. Daniel Radcliffe can be funny, and he goes for strange roles, and he's willing to kind of dive into roles. So I'm down with this.
He likes to stretch himself.
And horses.
Yeah. He that's funny. An Equus joke, always a good one. Heyo. But yeah, no, I think it's really interesting. He does kind of do his own thing. And I really applaud him for that. And I think I know his mental health is very important to him. So I wonder how long the show would last if it does get picked up, because Tracy Morgan is a hot mess. But
Tracy Morgan.
So, but yeah, I could see it. I think it would be a really funny pairing. He was on Kimmy Schmidt. Like he played Kimmy Schmidt's boyfriend in one of the seasons, and he did really well at that. And so I was like, okay, so yeah, I think he could do it.
You talk about a odd show. The Impossible Kimmy Schmidt was a weird show. It's funny though.
Yeah,
Radcliffe
I
can
love
be
it.
funny, huh?
Yeah.
No, he can be
He can,
easily.
yeah. So let's. Anything else? We want to move on to the spicy one. All
Yep.
right.
I want to know who's playing Jean Grey.
Who's that girl? Seriously, who will she be playing? So Sadie Sink has officially joined Tom Holland in the next chapter of the Spider-Man franchise, which is set to begin filming later this year. There are several characters she could be playing, but who do you think she'll ultimately portray? So like rumors are like Felicia Hardy could show up in this one. We could get a Mary Jane Watson for real. We could get a Gwen Stacy. She could be an alt Gwen Stacy, like Ghost Spider.
Well, so they're saying, if she does Gwen Stacy, she follows the tradition of redheads having their hair dyed blonde in order to play the character.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
every actress that has played Gwen Stacy has been a redhead that had their hair dyed.
Yeah.
Which is, when you think about that, that's kind of odd.
It is because
yeah.
Yeah.
They specifically go for redheads, to play Gwen Stacy. MJ obviously would fit just for her hair in general. I guess you could do Felicia Hardy.
Yeah. They could. I mean, it just really depends. Like, is the MCU willing to introduce a new character in their universe in a Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
Because if they are, then she could be Jean Grey.
And that's kind of like the prevailing rumors that she's going to be Jean Grey.
Yeah.
That's kind of like where the majority of the internet's going, is like she's going to be Jean Grey. It's like, okay, I can see that.
What do you think, James?
Well, I heard you mention Gwen and Jean, and that all makes sense. And you mentioned MJ, but isn't Zendaya?
Well, Zendaya is MJ, but she's not Mary Jane Watson, and that's that.
That's what I was going to ask. Is they never officially said she was Mary Jane Watson?
No, she has a name. I'm trying to remember what her name. I can look it up.
Gary, I think her name was Gary.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm down with this. I like her. I haven't seen her recently though. Like I just remember her from like earlier Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
Where she seems young, but maybe the way she's aging and she'll just be kind of right in line with Tom Holland and like college years type thing. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this. I like it. I think she's a good actress.
Zendaya's character's name is Michelle Jones. But they shortened it to MJ, so
interesting.
Because she didn't want to use her father's last name. Something like that. There was some like feminist thing that she was doing.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I could see her as I wouldn't hate any of them, to be honest with you. I think she could do any of them, and she'd be fine. Not fine, but like she'd be good.
Yeah. No,
I mean fine.
No, I don't mean that at all.
Oh, you mean fine? She'll be fine.
I mean, she'll do a great job, and
she would do a good job. That's what she means.
What happened to your voice? Why did you do that?
Yeah, she did a good job. It's okay. She did a good job.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
It'll be a good
That's
job.
all for this week's Karl.
It's gonna be fine.
On over to the general store for some of that sweet merch.
Oh, that's right. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we got merch, people. Oh wait, too early.
Yeah, too early. Screwed the pooch on that one.
Totally
to go.
Totally screwed up.
Let me get to some Toxie news. Come on.
All right, well, let's do this.
There you go. Oh, by the way, don't forget Facebook Distance Nerdington post. We're going to post a bunch of stuff in there. There's a ton of trailers that I'm about to post, so be on the lookout so you can catch up on all your trailers right there in the Distance Nerdington post on Facebook. Anyway, it's Toxie time with some Moxie. The Toxic Avenger is finally making a splash with a couple of new photos that have been released. The film is directed by Macon Blair, and when talking about the design for Toxie, he told Entertainment Weekly the goal was to try to stay true to the vibe of Lloyd's original Jennifer Aspinall Mitch Cohen's creature with some influence from the Toxic Crusaders cartoons look, while also trying to do something new and weird and lovable with Toxie's design. I do have a secret of the Tromaopsis. Why is there always a vat of toxic chemicals laying around synopsis?
Secret of the Tromaopsis? Why is there always a vat of toxic chemicals lying around synopsis? Synopsis.
I feel like Phil won that one.
That's rude. The film follows Winston Goose Dinklage, or Peter Dinklage, a struggling janitor who falls into a vat of toxic waste. There's your vat of toxic waste, and emerges as a monstrous yet powerful defender against corporate greed. This timely reimagining leans heavily into environmental themes while still packing in absurd, over-the-top violence fans can expect. The goal is to embrace the silliness and trashiness while wanting it to be enjoyable, crowd-pleasing, rock and roll fun times. With a hard R rating and plenty of Troma-style carnage, the Toxic Avenger movie will melt into theaters on August 29th.
And into our hearts.
Dinklage looks really good as the Toxic Avenger. I'm sorry. He looks really good.
Yeah. I agree.
Are you falling for the magic of movie making? That is not Dinklage in the suit.
Are you sure?
I'm positive because Toxie is like 7 feet tall.
I don't know. Doesn't mean that you can't make him a small dude for the movie.
I mean, I'm sure there could be a little toxic Avenger, but this one's huge. Hey, if we're correct, that could be good friend of the show, Spencer Wilding, in that costume.
You're not wrong, because Spencer is in the movie. I know that. So I mean, it could be Spencer that's in the suit.
Yeah. Hey, that would be awesome.
That picture of Toxic Avenger looks more like the White Walker from Game of Thrones, which he played, versus Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
It all comes around.
Right.
All comes around.
Any other comments before we move on?
No, because I want to get. Yeah. Did you know that karate was originally called Chinese hands? That it was actually based on something that they did in China. That it's not that old. And anyway, go ahead. It's off topic.
It's not off topic. Actually, there's a good transition. Damn it, Jim! I'm Donnie Cage, not a Judge Dredd. Thanks to Entertainment Weekly, we have our first look at the Mortal Kombat 2. The Mortal Kombat 2. These images reveal Karl Urban's... God, I really can't speak. Reveal Karl Urban's Johnny Cage, Adeline Rudolph... God damn... Okay, I quit. Adeline Rudolph as Katana, Martin Ford as Shao Kahn, and Hiroyuki Sanada back as Scorpion.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I was so excited when I heard Hiroyuki Sanada was coming back. He was so good in the first movie.
The first one.
Yeah.
I loved the first movie.
He was I loved that they did the actual storyline, right? And had Scorpion, in his ninja origins.
Yeah.
Right, so then you actually have like the two clans fighting. It was great. Ed Boon, Mortal Kombat's co-creator and head of gaming development at NetherRealm Studios, talked about Urban's Johnny Cage, saying, "You finally get to see Johnny Cage. His integration into the Mortal Kombat story and universe is a big part of what the movie explores. He's a washed-up Hollywood guy thrown into a magical, ultra-violent thing. I still think The Miz would have been a good fit." Other characters in the film include Liu Kang, Jax, Sonya Blade, Lord Raiden, Sub-Zero, and of course, Scorpion, as we mentioned a second ago. It was also revealed that Damon Harriman is returning as NetherRealm demon Quan Chi, along with Josh Lawson as Max Huang, and Kano and Kung Lao, even though they died in the last movie. Which, I mean, technically, you can just there's well, it's not hard, especially if you have Quan Chi and Shang Tsung in this movie.
There's like another realm thing, right? Like,
well, no, because they're both necromancers, so they can raise people from the dead.
Oh.
That's how Scorpion came back. Was literally Quan Chi brought him back from the dead to make him his minion.
Gotcha.
So guys, I gotta ask you this: are you excited about Mortal Kombat 2? I know Jen is.
I am.
Her and her Chinese hands are super excited for.
Oh God, you just gave me the joke for the episode.
I had all kinds of jokes earlier. I had 2 hours worth of jokes, and you just went like, "Yeah."
Oh no, I'm using those too, but I mean specifically for Jen.
She throws her Chinese hands out there, steals my thunder. Right. No, I like the first one. I'm into this. I like Karl Urban too. He's funny.
I think I just think this is a great role for him, like after the voice,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that that it's fun, and it just and it looks like he's having fun, like he's gonna be having fun in it. So, but fun, like hitty fun.
Yeah.
So.
Like I said, I was kind of hoping that they would have casted the Miz, but you
and Say Wong said the same thing.
The Miz, the Miz is Johnny Cage.
Oh, I mean, he thinks he is, but
Starks Comic Vault saying that the Mortal Kombat theme always gets her going at the gym.
Just starts fighting people.
Mortal Kombat, dun, 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 dun. Let's go.
Wow.
So come here.
Yeah,
Come here.
I need a
did
spot.
that thing.
Come here. All right. Who's got the next one?
I have the next one.
All right.
My Odyssey tingle is tingling. I feel like that was good. I liked it.
I laughed at it.
I liked it.
A few first look photos have been released from the set of Christopher Nolan's epic The Odyssey. They feature Tom Holland in what is reportedly the lead role aside from Matt Damon's Odysseus. Though it hasn't been confirmed, many believe Holland will play Telemachus, the son of Odysseus.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so this is The Odyssey arrives in theaters on July 17th, 2026.
Definitely excited for this movie.
Yeah. I saw another picture and I can't remember who's in it now, but their head was completely shaved. And they were like they're gonna be in the movie, but I can't remember who it was. I was scrolling through Instagram and sorry, I'm blanking. Never mind.
They did do an announcement today that young Phil, who you met, Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh yeah.
He's going to be in the film too.
Oh, nice.
I think they already had pictures of him.
When we were cleaning the office, you know what I found? So I have the set used. So if you watched Sons of Anarchy, there was the like bulletin board when they walked into the clubhouse, and Ryan Hurst's character, his mugshot was on the wall.
Yeah.
I have the set used picture. It's laminated, and I had it in my office.
Really?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I found it because I had it behind my bookshelf. And so, like, I got all excited when we pulled out the bookshelf, and I was like, "It's Ryan Hurst's thing." I was like, if next time I see Ryan Hurst, I gotta have him sign it for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
There you go. You're not going to give it to Tater for his birthday or anything like that? He's a big Sons of Anarchy fan.
I am also a big Sons of Anarchy fan. Because he wears a sweater, I get you, but I mean, I love Sons of Anarchy.
So you're worth more than he is. I get it. Your
It's
feelings
mine.
are worth way more.
It's mine. And Opie was my favorite character, so no, it's mine.
I didn't finish it.
Oh, you got to go watch it. It's so good.
I'll get around to it.
All right, I'm gonna keep it going. Another hit for Sheridan. Suck it, Kevin Costner. Paramount Plus has renewed Taylor Sheridan's hit series Landman, led by Billy Bob Thornton, for a second season following a successful first season. Paramount Plus reported that the show broke records, delivering both the most watched global premiere and season finale in the streamer's history. Whoa, okay.
Oh.
Sheridan co-created the series with Christian Wallace, with both serving as executive producers. Right. Sheridan can do no wrong right now.
Yeah, the guy's all over the place.
Did you ever watch Lioness?
No, heard it was awesome too, though.
Dude, it's so good. If you liked Reacher and any type of pseudo military type show, it's so good. So good.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep going though.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider is back. Sort of. Gabriel Luna is officially stepping into the world of The Terminal List, landing a major recurring role in season 2 of Prime Video's action thriller. So it's actually, I tried to watch Terminal List after watching Linus because I was so into Linus. Terminal List is a little bit slower, but still good. The actor, known for his roles in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Last of Us, will portray Freddie Strain, a fan favorite character from Jack Carr's novel True Believer, which serves as the basis for the upcoming season.
Well, that's cool.
There-
Hey,
there's
I'm
your-
glad he's getting work.
There's your Ghost Rider.
There's a rumor that Feige's been trying to bring him back as Ghost Rider in the MCU.
I think it would be a smart choice. I would love to see him.
He's just hanging out with Star-Lord. That's all it is. Originally
That would make sense.
renewed.
Lucky Charms.
Originally renewed in February 2023, The Terminal List Season 2 does not currently have a release date. Womp womp.
Sounds fun though. So it's Jaws, but with pause.
Pause.
Netflix is set to produce a new film adaptation of Stephen King's best-selling novel Cujo, with Roy Lee from It and It Chapter 2 developing it as a producer. The novel is set in a small town of Castle Rock, so the town from the show, where Cujo, a friendly Saint Bernard, is bitten by a rabid bat, transforming him into a monstrous force of nature. No release date set, or I guess sit. No release date sit. Sit, boy. Sit now.
Or stay.
No. Stop. No, don't. Damn it. Sit, Cujo, or stay. Or maybe lay down.
Why do you have to do that to a Saint Bernard? That's just so sad.
Or save that character person with alcohol. There you go. That's what Saint Bernards do, right?
Yeah. They're also kind of called nanny dogs because they will corral your children, keep them from harm.
It's funny because pit bulls were also called nanny dogs for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the dog in Peter Pan? Wasn't he a Saint Bernard?
Saint Bernard.
She a Saint Bernard?
She was a Saint Bernard. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Good times.
One. Yeah, great times. But you know what's better times?
I know where you're going with this.
He's here. He's there. He's every fucking where. It's season 4.
Woo!
Season 4.
Season 4.
Ted
So
Lasso, the Emmy-winning comedy, is officially returning for a 4th season, with Jason Sudeikis back as both star and executive producer. And this time, Coach Lasso will be taking on a new job coaching a women's team.
Jason Sudeikis.
Juno Temple, who played Keely Jones, is currently in negotiations to return alongside confirmed cast members Hannah Waddingham, Brett Goldstein, and Jeremy Swift. That was weird. Temple's scheduling has reportedly been an issue, but sources are optimistic that she will be back. Meanwhile, the writing team has been hard at work for months, with Sudeikis is leaving the room alongside new co-showrunner Jack Burdett from like 30 Rock, Modern Family.
Ooh.
Season 4 is set to pick up where the last season left off, with the premiere episode filming in Kansas, likely Kansas City, before returning to the UK, and may focus on AFC Richmond's newly formed women's team, spearheaded by Keely and Rebecca.
Oh, so they are going back to AFC Richmond. All right.
Yeah, and they don't have any dates or anything like that, so
That's
it's in
awesome.
the ether.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for this, just mainly because I wanted more, and knowing Jason Sudeikis, like he's not going to put out a season unless it is as good as
Exactly
the first
what
three.
he wants.
Yeah, because the whole thing with him is like, I want to do more of it, but I want it to be like, I'm sure he doesn't want to put something out there just because.
Right.
Like he wants the story to be just as good as anything else that's been out there before. So I'm very excited to see more Ted Lasso.
I like it.
Me too.
Love that show.
And then there'll be more shrinking, and then more Lasso, and then more shrinking, and then more Lasso, and then more shrinking.
And you mix in some Schmigadoon in there too. And you're
There you go.
Yep. Schmigadoon.
We all love a good dance number every now and then.
All right. I still haven't watched season 2. I got to go back and watch season 2.
Oh, that's the one that's Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, I got excited because it was like, oh, they're doing Chicago. And then I never watched
it. It's because, I don't know. We watched the first few, and then it was just kind of like, oh, we'll watch it. And then it just, you just kind of put it off. Which
Of
is
season
probably why
2?
it's not.
I think I put it off more so because it's on Apple TV, and Apple TV's like marketing is the worst. So
It really is.
yeah,
It really
like
is.
I don't know how you have so many good shows and you guys really don't like push it out there.
Yeah, I mean, Ted Lasso was the first one that kind of did anything like that.
Yeah, but then I watched Monarch, and Monarch is really good. And then I watched I've watched a couple Silo finally, and that was amazing.
Silo is so awesome. I'm so excited for next season.
Yeah. So well, moving on here. Ooh, I was on the wrong page here. All right, moving on here. We're about to go rogue in a galaxy far, far away. With Andor Season 2 on the horizon, one of the biggest lingering questions is the true nature of Stellan Skarsgård's Luthen Rail. According to the showrunner Tony Gilroy, Season 2 will finally put back the curtain on Luthen's past and the impossible burden he carries. Gilroy said in Season 1, Luthen had a monologue in which he talked about how his sacrifice for the cause is his humanity, and used the tools of his enemy, saying, I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I will never see. God, that is so like cryptic and profound.
Powerful.
Yeah, and like I was saying, and profound. Like there's a lot of there's power in those words, especially considering that that they're he's talking in reference to a rebellion.
Yeah.
So Andor Season 2 lands on April 22nd, 2025, this year on Disney Plus.
It's almost like he's saying he's the spark that makes the rebellion.
Which I think that's also cool too. So
yeah, I like that. I like that.
But I think that spark comes with a price. I think he kind of set up the Empire to look back. I'm interested. I think this is going to be a lot of Luthen. And I think Andor is going to see what it takes to become a rebel. Because think about when you first met Andor in Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
He kills a dude. He kills an informant.
It's the first time you see him, he kills the informant, right?
Yeah, it's like, what the heck? We're supposed to like this guy? So I think we're going to watch Andor go on this journey, this dark journey, but he's going to see what it takes because of Luthen has already gone on that dark journey.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm really interested in how their dynamic's going to be this season, and like how they're going to, like, is it going to be, I'm going to send Andor on missions and I'm going to go on missions and it's like a B story, or is it going to be, first we're going to focus on Andor and then we'll pick him back up at the end and, put a little Luthen filling in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see where they go with this. I'm excited. At the same time, like I have this whole like plethora of feelings. Like I don't want Daredevil to end, but I also want it to hurry up and keep going.
Right.
Right. But then also I want it to end just so I can get to Andor. But I don't want like Andor to go too fast, but I also want to see everything all at once. I just I have a lot of feelings on both of these shows right now.
You're in your feelings right now. That's okay.
All
It's
the
Definitely.
okay,
feels.
buddy. It's okay. We
He needs
got
a
you.
hug.
We
He needs
got
a
you.
hug.
Virtual hugs from
Okay, let's keep it going.
All right.
While you get hugs. Gunn is teasing us again. James Gunn dropped another new image from Superman, and it's our clearest look yet at Maria Gabriela de Faria as the villain known as the Engineer. The character is a key player in the DC's The Authority. That's for you, Frey. And lays lifeless on the ground in a stadium. This is likely the same location from the teaser trailer where Superman throws down with Ultraman. Interesting. Superman flies into theaters July 11th. There's so many characters being packed into this Superman movie.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. But I'm also like, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to know things, but I kind of don't want to know things because I want some surprises before I go see the film. You know,
Like Tom
I
Cruise.
don't want. I don't want any really big stuff spoiled. I think.
Yeah.
Well, he's
So-
not that big, so you'll be fine.
right.
He's just a little guy.
Just a little one. But yeah, so I kind of want to know and I kind of don't. I see why putting all of these characters in this movie is important because you build the universe really in one movie.
Right.
And he's touching on the different parts of the universe as well. So, you know, you're getting the Engineer, which is the Authority, and that's the more adult version of the DC. And then you've got your Guy Gardner. So that's that little misogynistic corner.
Yeah, that adorable bowl cut of his.
Mm-hmm. So I like it. I think it's interesting. I wonder if she's really the villain or if she's on a mission or something.
Yeah.
And that's what we find out.
Kind of like this is just like, you know, the side story to what's going on and everything like that. I think there's going to be a lot of plot threads that get opened up in this that are like intended to be, you know, pulled into other movies.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a rumor that Supergirl's going to show up for a minute. So it's like, okay, bring them on. Let's do this.
Yeah. Be interesting to see how everything goes, where everything goes with this.
All right.
All right. Well, sticking around in the DC universe, because guys, it's time to kick our way into more DCU stuff. Blue Beetle star Holo Maridueña, I almost couldn't say his name, is gearing up for his next adventure as Jaime Reyes, but this time it will be in animated form. During the Saturn Awards, the actor offered an update on the upcoming Blue Beetle animated series, revealing that it's set to premiere in 2026. Blue Beetle hits theaters in August of the movie Blue Beetle hit the theaters in August of 2023 as one of the last films in the now defunct DCEU. At the time, Gunn fueled speculations about the character's future when he posted on Instagram that Jaime Reyes will be an amazing part of the DCU going forward. Maridueña said, "I'm ready for to come back. We're hitting hard on this animated project, hoping to get this settled out this year to show everyone next year."
Interesting. I think you know how we have Gods and Monsters?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Phase 1 or something like that. I think there's a whole set of stuff, including Blue Beetle, that's just waiting. And they're not going to talk about it until they get Superman out, they get some of these other projects out. But I think it's all just waiting, just like Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
It's all just waiting in the wings, but they have to get through this first few projects. I'm into it.
Yeah. I mean, but if they use the scarab how it originally was conceived, that would be a god thing. it's a device of a god,
Right.
the scarab. So he could potentially be part of the plan in Gods and Monsters. It's just that they want to start in the animated version of that and then move him back to live action to get some space between those Hyenes.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, like at the end of the first movie, we got the Ted Cord reveal, so we know like Ted Cord exists within this universe. We know that they are Booster Gold got kind of like put in the back burner, but they are still developing Booster Gold, and Ted Cord and Booster Gold have a massive relationship. So I mean, like it may be unclear right now, but maybe because they're trying to figure out story wise, like how do we fit this all together?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think that it will be down the line a little, but yeah, I think there's a lot of love for the character there, and they want to use him. And if they bring in the Titans, like they're going to do anyway, I mean, he's the perfect.
It would make sense to bring him in as a Titan.
Yeah. So
that is interesting. I never thought about that. But it does make sense. I always think of like the OG Titans when I think of the Titans. I never think of newer characters like this or like a Young Justice type characters.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think I loved Young Justice. It actually was one of my favorite series.
Yeah.
Of the sidekicks. But Titans is my old school love. That's what got me into comics. So I can't, it's my ride or die.
I feel you. I'm the same way. I did love Young Justice. I mean, I remember like, all right, I'm gonna pay for DC Universe because of Young Justice.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I got Young Justice. I'm sorry. The only reason I got the DC Universe app.
Gotcha.
Was because of Young Justice.
I wish you could have just told me that, so I would have just used your login. But thanks.
Yeah,
you owe me $10. Okay, let's keep it going.
I think at the time we were just like passing acquaintances who both happened to be involved with Hardly Heroes at the time.
Sounds like an excuse for not sharing, but
it was before we were friends, bro.
We can keep going.
Let's move on to another brother duo convo.
Young Phil, you got to do the intro on this one.
I don't have a good Porky Pig, but I'll try it. I'll.
Yeah, I can't.
That's all, folks.
See, there you go.
Oh my gosh,
not too shabby.
Like I was having a stroke.
Do it one more time.
That's all, folks.
See, there you go. Warner Brothers Discovery under CEO David Zaslav has done it again. The iconic cartoons that defined animation from 1930 to 1969 are gone. Looney Tunes shorts have been removed from Max. What the hell?
He's a robot.
It is crazy.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. He's a robot.
What? I'm going to finish this article, but there's so much crazy evidence happening here. So, Deadline confirmed with Warner Brothers that the classic shorts were removed as part of a new plan to shift Max's focus towards adult and family programming. According to them, the children's content, like Looney Tunes, just doesn't bring in the numbers anymore. Is Zaslav killing all Warner Brothers animation? Check this out. So, remember, Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes story. It was greenlit as a Max original before Warner Brothers took it over. Once Zaslav regime set in, the film was tossed aside and no longer considered a priority. Then there was Coyote versus Acme, a $70 million Looney Tunes feature film that tested through the roof with audiences, but instead of giving it a chance and releasing it, Warner Brothers put it on the shelf for a tax write-off, never to be seen again. And then last year, when rumors swirled that the classic Looney Tunes shorts were leaving Max, Warner Brothers issued a statement assuring fans it was a mistake. Looney Tunes was included in an error as a title leaving the platform. This is not the case, and show will continue streaming on Max. But now, just over a year later, those shorts are gone for real. This isn't just about Looney Tunes. It's part of a larger trend under Warner Brothers Discovery, cutting loose Rooster Teeth, shutting down the Boomerang streaming services, and gutting Cartoon Network's online presence. Do you think there's a larger story happening with animation at Warner Brothers?
You know what I think is happening? I think David Zaslav is one of those guys that believes that animation isn't true cinema or true art.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of those
that
people.
would be him.
Yeah, there's a lot of those people that exist that are out there, and they're just like, animation is derivative, and animation is not art, and it's not, and you hear these people talk about this stuff, and it's like, no, man, animation is art. Animation is literally the definition of art. It's moving artwork, and it's Zaslav and Iger both offend me in the way that they treat things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They're
robots.
They both have very old world views of these things, and they have no respect for animation. I think a lot of it is just Iger has respect for animation, but Zaslav, I feel like his whole thing is like, this is a kid's art form, and it's not what's going to make money, and let's just drop it all together. The thing is that rather than being willing to sell it off, and saying like, oh, hey, Amazon's has this amazing run with animation right now. Let's sell off these characters, just Merry Melodies and Looney Tunes, to Amazon or something like that, or like another company that has respect for the characters. I think a lot of it is also Zaslav is like, well, Warner Brothers is associated with the Looney Tunes, so we can't sell it to anybody else. So let's just kill it.
Yeah.
It's these moves that these guys make. David Zaslav, Bob Iger, to an extent, some of the stuff that that Bezos does. Like there's a lot of stuff happening at studios where they're putting the profit over like the engagement. There's a lot of proof that audiences love Looney Tunes and audiences love these classic cartoons and all this stuff, but for the sake of
I grew up on them.
Yeah, I mean, so did I to an extent. I grew up watching a lot of Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, like a lot of the classic cartoons, and it really does both break my heart and upset me that they're treating the animation this way.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Like even with like modern cartoons and modern animation, like Warner Brothers owns Cartoon Network, and one of the biggest properties in existence is Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
They own Rick and Morty, and they're going to sit there and say that Rick and Morty is not popular.
Yeah, hot take. Zaslav is a bad man.
I had a bad taste in my mouth for David Zaslav when I heard that he cut the amount of actors and was like unwilling to give people raises, but then bought himself another $5 billion mansion. Yeah. It's like that puts a really bad taste in my mouth for like you as a person.
What do you think is happening with that content though? Because okay, fine, Zaslav, the new Warner Discovery, they don't care for animation or Looney Tunes. Do you think they're going to try to sell this off?
I don't know, man. It would be smart for them to sell it off, unless duck season. We literally did that over the weekend. Me and Sandra Betty were doing duck season, rabbit season to each other. I don't know, man. Like I would like it. I would prefer that they sell it off. because then it lives somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like it lives on.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of vaulting all of the Warner Brothers cartoons and all the animation and everything that we grew up with.
We just got Disney to stop doing that.
Yeah.
And now Warner Brothers is going to pull this shit? No.
Yeah. Like at least Iger has a level of respect for animation because his entire company was built on it.
Don't get me started with Bob Iger.
Iger, I have different problems with. I have a lot of the same, similar, but different problems with Bob Iger.
He knows what he did.
But I mean, like, you know, they do have a level of respect for the animation because they know that I think they realize that their entire company was built on animation and that Walt would be rolling in his grave if they got rid of the animation.
Walt would come back from the dead.
Yeah.
And whip their asses.
Yeah. Like, what did you do to my company? I'm going to kill all of you.
And then he'd eat their brains because
I was
he
going
would
to say,
be a
'cause he's a
zombie.
zombie. Exactly. Zombie Walt Disney would just kill everybody.
This is taking a turn. Okay, let's. You guys have anything else? Because let's get to some happy news. This next one's happy.
Yeah.
Are we done?
The next one has a lot of emotions, right? It's more of
Yeah.
an amalgame of emotions.
Well, the picture that they have on there, that's George Perez.
That is a George Perez.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Puerto Rico's finest.
Yeah. So Superman versus Hulk. Who wins? We may find out. For the first time in over 2 decades, Marvel and DC are joining forces again. After years of speculation and a long history of competition turned collaboration, the two comic book giants are set to release a pair of new crossover one-shots later this year. So Marvel Comics editor-in-chief C.B. Cebulski and DC Comics editor-in-chief Marie Jahmez shared the news. The conversation started with a nod to last year's best-selling DC versus Marvel Omnibus and DC/Marvel The Amalgam Age Omnibus, which collected past Marvel DC crossovers in one place. But as it turns out, the books weren't just a nostalgia trip, they were a prelude. Cebulski hinted at something more. We really enjoyed working together. This is a really good project to have done. But I think there's another white whale that we got. Cebulski put in the question out in the open. Another crossover, a modern crossover. Are you up for it? While details are still under wraps and there are no official creative teams or no confirmed characters, we do know that 2 issues are coming. One titled Marvel/DC, which will be published by Marvel, and the other titled DC/Marvel, which will be published by, of course, DC. Both comic books are expected to drop this year.
That's exciting. I'm excited to get more amalgam now. Also, it's funny because when James Gunn took over DC for the film side, he made a joke about the first thing I did when I officially got the job was call Kevin Feige and ask him if he wanted to do an amalgam movie. And I thought that was funny, right? But it's just kind of like, okay, well, is that what they're planning on doing eventually? Like at some point, is doing a crossover film after like the DCU gets started up? Because
well,
like,
hopefully
Marvel and DC are like updating all their stuff. So then, like, would we get an Avengers versus Justice League?
Yeah, I would like that. I'd like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be pretty interesting. And, you know, of course, the Flash would have to be responsible for it because that's what it happens in every single one of them. So.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
All I care about is getting the conclusions of the picture that we have on the screen right now, because as much as I love Spider-Man and as strong as Spider-Man is, Superman like punches his head off in that picture right there. And again, same thing. As much as I love Batman, he's one of my favorite characters of all time. He's jumping into the Hulk, not knowing who the Hulk is. The Hulk's gonna like, you know, crush his body.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bruce is just. Oh, they're both Bruce. Holy shit. Wayne.
Why did you say that name?
Woo, Bruce. Why did you say that name? I just realized it was like, oh shit, Bruce Banner and Bruce Wayne. Oh my god. Wayne would have every bone in his body broken by just like a light slap from Banner.
A love tap.
It'd be a love tap. Again, like I immediately I was like, in that fight, I would assume the Justice League would take on the Avengers, and then I really thought about it. It was like, no, it'd be kind of hard because some of the Avengers are pretty OP.
Yeah, but then like you gotta think Hulk versus Wonder Woman or Superman. I mean,
I would imagine Hulk versus Superman.
Yeah,
and it's and I mean that I think that happened in the last amalgam that they did. Was
yeah,
it was Superman and the Hulk, and it ended up being a draw.
Yeah, I think so. But it's like, yeah, and you have counterparts for a lot of these characters, so it's like they can go up against those. But
yeah, I think the very first time we did a superhero super showdown, which I need to start doing on Instagram again, was Doomsday versus the Hulk, and in the end, I ended up saying neither of them win because both characters are characters that cannot like really be defeated. You just have to like subdue them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can only contain. You
Right.
can't like completely kill.
Yeah, because Doomsday, every time he dies, he becomes immune to the way you killed him last. So
Right.
it's like, yeah, like that eventually there's no way to kill him. And same thing with the Hulk, because you get the Hulk pissed off enough, he becomes World Breaker Hulk, and he can destroy a planet with a single step.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah, so it gets really hard to say like, who wins this fight, because Doomsday ends up becoming immune to everything that Hulk does. So Hulk's just beating him like, and nothing's happening.
But then Hulk keeps getting stronger the more he's hit.
Right, and like the more frustrated he gets, the more.
So it's like they just cancel each other out.
They really do.
Mm. You know who doesn't cancel each other out? Iron Man and Dr. Doom.
This in your transitions, I'm telling you, you're the best at this. Over to some MCU news. The Russo brothers are in the process of developing Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars for Marvel Studios, and they're pulling off one of the boldest moves in the MCU yet by bringing back Robert Downey Jr. not as Iron Man, but as the villainous Victor Von Doom. When asked how they plan to introduce Downey Jr. as Doom in the Avengers Endgame, Anthony Russo confirmed that Iron Man's death will be connected to Doom. We can't explain that as it's part of the story, but there's nobody else in the world who could play this character the way he's about to. Joe Russo recently talked about Downey's commitment to crafting his new take on Doom, saying it's a very intense process developing the character. Downey is so immersed in it. He is also dialed in. That's the kind of artist he is. That's the kind of actor he is. He's writing backstory and sharing costume ideas. He's really, we were just on the phone this morning before we got here talking about it. He just loves really rich three-dimensional characters, and I think he sees a real opportunity here with the character. So how do you guys see the Russos and RDJ linking the Iron Man story with Dr. Doom?
When I wrote this, I was going to ask you guys because is there a storyline? Is there a storyline where like Iron Man and Dr. Doom?
Well, I mean, there's always variants. You can you can fall back on that, but what could happen is a mysterious third party takes Tony's body and kind of doomifies it, you know what I mean, like, and resurrects him.
Yeah, I can see that. See, the thing is,
because that would be where the mysticism comes in,
right?
He's got the science and the mysticism,
right. He is a mashup of the science and the mystic. So like you have. I wonder if like he gets it from like Kamar-Taj or something like that. Like, he like studies in Kamar-Taj, becomes a mystic, and then at the same time,
like he gets resurrected, amnesia, the Carmitage guys pick him up. He studies with them. This branches off into another timeline. Then he comes back to this timeline.
Right, and you have that super genius, technologist in Tony Stark, and that kind of lends itself to Doctor Doom because Doctor Doom is kind of that level as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
I was trying to think: is there something that links them together? Like he said, or Russo said, like Robert Downey Jr. is the only person that could have played it. So, what is it that makes Iron Man become Victor Von Doom, or that version of Victor Von Doom? I wonder if it's like there is a Victor Von Doom in the world already, but he tries to steal like some kind of cosmic radiation or powers out of Iron Man's body, his dead body, and like for whatever reason he takes on Iron Man's face.
That
with nanotech?
Yeah,
maybe it's nanotech.
That could be a fun way to do it. So in the Ultimates comic books, they did do an ultimate version of Doctor Doom, and it turns out that it's Tony Stark, and he's just a variant of Doctor Doom. So I mean, this is something that happened in the comics in one specific run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was like an alternate universe run, which is why I feel like, okay, well, this is where they're gonna go with this, is that Tony Stark becomes Victor Von Doom, and I think that Doomsday is also going to be where, like, there's going to be multiverse stuff that happens, and we get a final variant of Victor Von Doom, and we get an act I think they're going to hold it close enough to the chest that they do reveal by the end of the movie a Victor Von Doom that is not Iron Man.
No, it's Matt Damon.
It's Matt Damon. No, I'm still holding out for Cillian Murphy.
I just thought it was funny because Matt Damon's in the Odyssey.
Yeah.
He was like
somebody did say, and so on our viral video on YouTube, somebody commented that Alan Ritchson would be a good Doctor Doom, and I was like, ooh, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, he would.
Like Alan Ritchson could be Doctor Doom.
I was thinking. No, he would. I agree. I was gonna go back to the how did Iron Man become Doom, and I'm thinking maybe it was something that would have happened in Age of Ultron, like he tweaked something in Age of Ultron where he made a different decision, and led to him actually succeeding in armoring the universe or the world. And and then he armors himself because he's like, it's like a manifestation of what he did to the earth kind of thing. I could see something like that, but that's like really getting in the weeds there. So
the other thing I wonder about is he going to be the king of Latveria?
I just feel like you have to have that.
You have to have that. Yeah, I totally agree. Like that's part of Doom's motivation.
So how does Tony become the king of Latveria? Like,
no, I'm not a Russo brother.
No, what I'm saying is like,
dystopian.
I was gonna go more with like, in this universe, Tony has a great, long distant relative that happens to be like the final heir and dies, and that's what makes him the heir to the throne of Latveria.
Yeah. Or dystopian future, and he comes back because like it could be that New York turns into Latveria.
Ooh, that would be different.
And then he comes back. I mean, if we're gonna get into the mutant saga, which I know that's coming up, they're gonna, Cable's gonna have to be introduced at some point, and that's time jumping, so that wouldn't be that big of a difference. And then in Doctor Strange Mom, the thing with Reed Richards, the teleporting and stuff, I mean, they're already halfway there, is what I'm saying. So, and they've already time jumped.
I was also just thinking, like, what if Victor Von Doom is Tony Stark's like great uncle? but it's not this version of Victor. It's like Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom. Like, he's like his great uncle. He passes away, gives him, leaves him as the last heir. And Tony takes on the name Doom, Von Doom.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think it's going to be something about maybe Fantastic Four that they change the timeline or something like that.
That would make sense too.
Oh, maybe he comes from the past to here, so he's not really Tony Stark. He's like one of Tony Stark's ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And like Anthony Stark or something, and don't call him Tony or whatever. And he comes to the future, and that's why the Fantastic Four have to come to the future, and then they all get stuck here.
Yeah, there's so many possibilities on how they can do this.
Horrible. I hope that's not it at all. I
Yep.
feel sad and sorry for myself for even bringing that up.
But I mean, in general, like there's so many possibilities for what can happen with Robert Downey Jr. and Doctor Doom and kind of the way that they do this. So it also does seem like it's going to be a one-off. Like it's not going to be Tony, like, as Doctor Doom through the entire universe. I think this is a one-off for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what it's gonna have, and it's gonna have a lot of it. It's gonna have merch people.
That's right, merch people.
We got merch people, and so can you. DM us at Distance Starting. Let us know what shirt you're looking for, and I hope you're looking for the gray one,
right?
Because the character shirt is fire. It's $20 if you're local, $25 if we got to ship it to you. And if you're got a little kid, we got some good little presents for you, because the logo shirt, all we have left are kid sizes.
No, not anymore. The logo shirt is gone.
Okay.
You made it
Just
sound
kidding.
so creepy, though. We got little prizes for you. What?
No. So the character shirt is the only shirt we have left. The logo shirt, I actually ended up donating all the shirts to Project Wish.
Oh, that was very nice of you.
Yeah, so we had 4 kid shirts left. I ended up giving them to Project Wish Upon a Star so they can give to their champions. And V was very thankful because she was like, "Oh no, I'm going to give these to the patients."
Oh, that's awesome!
She was
Look at us doing good,
right?
I bet Geek Saga didn't give him shirts. Screw you.
Right? We don't have hat anymore, so we really just have the character shirts and stickers.
If you want the character shirt, they're $20, $25 if we got to ship it to you. We'll have them at the cons. I think we sold a couple at the con.
We did sell
Weekend Blender, so awesome, great stuff. Yeah. Shout out to who was it? Chris?
Yes, Chris Ohashi Lopez from Sacramento Ghostbusters. Yep,
I like it. Good dude. Good dude. He ended up buying a
Ghostbusters.
Shirt.
He ended up buying a shirt. And then another one of the Ghostbusters from New York that came out from New York bought a shirt.
Oh, nice.
And of course, Pete bought 2 shirts.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, after you left.
Oh, look at that. Awesome. We're doing things, getting those shirts out there. So let us know how many shirts you're looking for, what sizes you're looking for, because we might be running low on sizes now that I'm thinking about it. If we're gonna ship it to Florida, yes, the answer is yes. We do ship it to Florida. Zach Deadpool says in the chat they are $500.
Yeah,
to ship it to Florida. There is a alligator tax that we are. They're tariffed.
It's an alligator tariff.
Alligator tariff.
Alligator state. There's an alligator state tariff
because alligators are terrifying.
Yes, good.
That was good. That was good. Save.
Very good. Very
All
good.
right, and on to the schedule.
Let's talk schedule, ladies and gentlemen. So, as of now, we are back on Mondays. Monday, we do the game streams from 8 to 12. If you missed this week, I was playing Epic Mickey. I was talking about it at the top of the show, but I was playing Epic Mickey Rebrushed. The last hour, Jen showed up in the chat, and we just had a good time making fun of Mickey Mouse and trying to figure out what Oswald the Rabbit sounds like.
Right. I feel like he has a deep voice, though. Like,
No, I was basing everything based off of like the little sounds, like the little grunt sounds that he was making.
Oh yeah.
So like he does. He's like, right. So I was like, oh, like like, you took everything from me, Mickey. Everything.
Like a congested Morty.
Almost, but like I imagine like a rabbit character, especially like from the 1920s.
Yeah.
Is gonna have kind of like that little kind of like that kid like cracky voice, but also like as a rabbit.
Yeah. Do you
right?
think he knew Roger?
I'm sure he did.
Oh my god.
I'm sure him and Roger got down.
Probably. They probably.
Sag Deadpool said in the chat, Oswald the rabbit probably sounds like Barry White. Oh yeah.
You stole everything from me, Mickey. Oh yeah. Tuesdays, the show you're watching right now, the download from 6:30 to 8:30. Come and hang out with us. We'll talk about all the news, the rumors, everything that exists. If it's there and it's in the news in the Nerdverse, we're talking about it. Of course, Thursdays, we are back to 6 to 8 on the YouTubes and on the Twitches for now. Come and hang out with us. I'm building Lego and we're having all kinds of fun doing nerdy stuff. Fridays, we if we do stuff on Fridays, we are doing little side things. So be on the lookout. We'll shout it out to everybody. But anytime we do a game show, anytime we do get together, anytime we do movie streams or anything like that, we'll be doing those on Fridays.
We the last thing we did was the Jep Nerdy, right?
Jep Nerdy was the last thing we did, which was a buttload of fun.
That was so much fun.
Right. Shout outs again to a friend of the show, Matt Aguilar from Comic Book Nation.
I just thought I thought it was so funny that before the show he was like, man, he was like, you guys I'm glad it's not just us, kind of how chaotic we are.
He was talking about it like at the beginning of the show. He was like, oh my God, like you guys all hang out and talk smack before your show too.
Yeah. So it was really funny. It was nice to hear that we're a little bit more.
Yeah. Shout out to Comic Book Nation. They're dope. So make sure you check them out. I think Friday mornings. Friday 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. East Coast time. Because they're on the East Coast.
Right.
So then another time zone does exist.
Well, only for them because
that's where they live.
They're cooler than us.
Because they're Comic Book Freaking Nation. That's why.
Yes, exactly.
Comic Book Freaking Nation.
Comic Book Freaking Nation, man. Jen, give us all your pluggables.
No.
Okay. Jen, no pluggables. So we're gonna.
Hi, I'm Jen. You can catch me on my YouTube channel called Free Girl. And I'm doing Shadu and I do a show on there called Classified. Our most recent one is Percy Jackson. That's our opening episode of season 2. We also have a couple of sister shows. We've got the Journals of the Classes, which actually breaks down all the D&D classes so that you might be able to understand the classes we do, like how we put in your fandoms in D&D classes. So like with Percy Jackson, the characters Percy Jackson and whatever D&D class they are. And yeah, so if you don't know what those classes mean, we have a show for that. And then I'm on this channel, apparently just randomly. I kind of drop in whenever. And then also Kyra Cave Productions. I am occasionally on that one as well.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Awesome.
That's me.
Have something you want to discuss? Like a taco party? Tell us what you're nerdy on and connect with us. But first, buy us tacos.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to buy us a taco, if you want to support the show, best way you can do that is head over to distancenerdding.com. Go right up to the top of the page, hit that big blue button that says buy us a taco. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, you can buy us a taco. Join the taco party. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Join the taco party. It is the best way to support us, and that'll make it so that we can continue doing shows and we can continue going out and seeing everybody and having all the fun that we do, like we did this weekend at Weekend Blender.
Because all of the starving, creepy babies need tacos.
Absolutely. Don't. That is absolutely terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to connect with us on all the social media places, if it exists, we are there on social media. Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's never going to be X. Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, Blue Sky, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and Mandels the beard, Jahmez's glasses, judging you for not buying the rest of our character shirts. And of course, everything she will do for money, because there's not much he won't do for money. Ladies and gentlemen.
Except give it to charity, apparently.
Except give it to charity. And yeah, things. If you would like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, or just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out disgustingly in the most terribly chewed ways at the feet of Daddy Pedro Pascal.
Oh, he's in a couple of like really cute commercials that just like premiered. So
you can send us an email at dist.
He is. He's adorable.
Real quick, I put a link in the chat for one of our shorts on YouTube. Mr. Young Phil talking about Alan Richson, Mr. 12,000 views. So go check out the video.
We're just short. We're just short of
15,000. Wow.
No, just short of 13,000. Sorry, 13,000. We're just short of 13,000.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Geek Freaks. Shout out to Frank. Good guy. Helped us put that together. And the video is doing well. Unfortunately, it's making Young Phil's head really big. So
absolutely,
you better get that email in quick before his head blows up.
Yes.
I feel pretty.
It's nerding at AOL.com.
It's nerding at AOL.com, and we will read it live on air. All right.
All right, everybody. I think, are we going to say the other line? I'll say this line first. Thanks, and keep nerding together.
All right. Well, because he's part of the dance party, I don't think we're going to say it just yet. So let's wait until the end of the song, and then we'll say it.
All right.
All right. All right. Well, let's get this ready. Here we are. There he is on screen.
I got a stunt double for my dance party.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's get this going. I'm a pickle. I turned myself into a pickle, Morty.
Distance nerding.
Why does Chemo look so bored?
You're okay.
Is that Batpool?
Bruce, go to bed. Bruce, go to bed. Bruce, go to bed.
Nancy Jen says it's time to go to bed, sweetie. The extended cut?
Bruce, go to bed.
Go to bed, Bruce.
Go to bed, Bruce.
Go to bed,
Bruce.
Brush your teeth.
And brush your teeth. and go to bed, Bruce. We'll see everybody on Thursday.